Good afternoon. I just wanted to show another deck called the Dragon Tarot, which is a pip deck, I believe. It's close enough. And I want to start out by saying that I did a little doodle in the background. This is the book for the deck. I'll move that out of the way. And this is from a video that for some reason I started watching this morning and couldn't stop. Kind of had it on loop. I don't know if you've ever done that. You can kind of loop a video. It's not a video. It's just like a song from the soundtrack of a movie. I think it's Alexander's the movie. I think. Let's zoom out here. So I redoodled the image that's in that video in an angry sort of overactive manner with some, I guess they're crayon-like things. I can't remember what they're called. And some chalk, so it's like all over me. But I was the song, the video. I'll put a link down there. It's Vangelis. It's called Titans. It's like I just wrote some big dude riding on a fire-breathing dragon. It doesn't look like this. It's more of an illustration on the video. But I was just thinking about pips, and then it popped into my head. Aren't those like the tiny little seeds inside of a lot of fruit? And I think that's true. But when I looked it up, it was all kinds of things. A pip can be the crusty stuff that's on a bird tongue, like poultry, I think, gets some kind of disease that causes scaling on them. It's also various undetermined human ailments, like back in the Middle Ages, I guess that's a reference to. Also, the Brits referred to, or they did, as an irritation or annoyance, which kind of goes with the ailment thing. It's also spots on playing cards, which is what we're referring to in tarot and stuff when we call something pip or pippish. But it's also those dots that are on dice, like this. This is a die, not dice. It's also on the tarot dice. These are, you know, dice that have tarot card images on them, but simple ones, like no background, just a pile of wands or a pile of swords, or the one I was on, two of cups. I couldn't find any dominoes. I know I have them, but for some reason I always thought that that was a peep, as in P-E-E-P, and there seems to be some reference on the things I looked up, so I'm not sure. You know how words go. It's also the diamond-shaped segments on the surface of a pineapple. Didn't know that one. And one, I think this is Merriam-Webster, says it's an image of an object on a radar screen. I don't think, I think they got that wrong. That would be what I would have called a blip. But okay. And one definition was tiny hard seeds and fruit like an apple. An odd one was an excellent or very attractive person or thing. Didn't see that one coming. Well, so enough of the journal. Let's get to showing the deck. Get these dice out of the way. I guess they're both dice together like that. But this is the Dragon Tarot by Nigel Suckling, illustrated by Roger and Linda Garland. Two illustrators. And I was saving up all the pip decks to do for the March of Pips because Kelly mentioned it a long time ago. But I know I've shown some decks before that time. This is a recent one, I believe. I don't know if it's a 2018, but that's when I got it. While we're here, we'll look at the book. Yep, 2018. How about that? That's not very thick. It looks to be colored inside with little bitty cards and various spreads. So that's not bad, right? Let's see how many pages it is. About 60 something. 63. Of course, if you're a publisher, you count everything, so that'd be 64, 65. The back counts. Seco Books. Don't know if I have any others of that, but it's one of those boxes, you know. You kind of almost wish it was chopped in half and you could just put the cards in there instead of them slipping, sliding around, but that's okay. It's probably one of those decks I would rarely do anything with other than feel like staring at dragon pictures. So here we have, if it's clear and straight, it's a little bigger than usual, so I'm having some trouble fitting it in there. But here's the Fool card. You can see it's shiny. It's got a laminate of some kind on it. I'm using sun and bright lights, but I'm not sure how well that's working. Got little dragons on the back. Who doesn't like dragons? Although I can recommend not if you're someone who gets up in the morning and has coffee and then maybe goes for a jog or a run or a walk. I recommend not listening to Vangelis's Titans, because then you get all hopped up and the next thing you know, you've run for 2 hours and your legs and stomach are hurting. One of the reasons I do not jog or run with music anymore. It just has too much influence on me. And I forget what I should be doing and start doing something crazy. As if I was 20 years old again. Not gonna happen. So here are the, what is it, swords. There's font, that's bizarre. But you can see they're a pip, but the background's a little different in each one sometimes. It's just slightly different, and that's okay. And they got monster borders. They got a little carried away with that. But there's not much to look at past the majors, the court card, and the aces, I guess. Here comes the wands. That kind of popped off. A lot of fire action going there, huh? Here come pentacles. That would be the dragon from the box cover, I believe. Let's compare. Yep, pretty much. I don't know why that caught my eye. Nothing spectacular there. These are okay dragons. The dragon search continues. Of course, my personal belief is that there's no such thing as a dragon. There may have been, but we probably ate them. We turned them into hot, fiery wings. And if they did exist, I'm sure we chowed down on them big time. Like people do. But I guess if you were the Far East, China, I don't know, in that area, the ground, the earth would be kind of dragon, but I kind of see it as just the heat, the fire, if you want, that's inside us all, keeping you warm. So here are the cups, very bluish, and yet they do change. Those two are very much alike. Interesting. But that was a quick show of the Dragon Tarot here for the March of the Pips, since I'm not doing it exactly correctly. But I am trying to just mostly show pip decks that I saved up. I can see at least 4 more right here. So with that, I will say peace and try to go burn off this dragon energy.